Hi everyone, Chris Anderson with Mount Comfort RV. Today we're going to do another motorhome review for you. The viewers have spoken, so thank you for participating. We will continue to do this as a video on demand way of doing things here, for lack of a better way to say that. And we are in the 2023 Newmar Dutch Star, the 4325. New floor plan, so we're going to kind of go over that for you, show you all the details inside and outside, and see what you think. Now, if you like our videos, please click the like button. If you really want to see anytime we add a new video, please click the subscribe button. This helps us. If you're not in the market for a motorhome, but you enjoy what we do and the way we do it, it helps us when you click the like button, because that's just going to get us more views down the road. We don't get paid for views. We don't put ads in our videos, but we do like to be very popular and populated out there as people search for things, and you liking the video will make that pop up on somebody's screen a little sooner and get us more views, which is really what we're after. So thank you in advance for that. Next, we will do another video on demand for our next video. What three coaches, might you ask? All right, choose from any one of these three. We have the Kountry Star 4037, that's also a 2023. The Ventana, which is a brand new floor plan for Ventana, the 4328 Ventana, also a 2023 model. And just to throw in a little bit of a curveball here, let's take a good look at a new gas coach that came out. It's a 2023 Baystar Sport 2813 is our model on there. You choose on our poll, or you can mention it down in the comments below. Either way you want to do it, which one you want to see, and probably sometime next week we will tally up those votes and you will have decided once again. So what are we looking at today? 4325 Dutch Star, brand new floor plan. Give you the specs on this. We have a Allura is the name of the decor, with Camelot graphics on the outside. I love the paint on this one. I think you will too. And then these cabinets are a new wood called Driftwood Glazed Maple. And these are all hardwood cabinets, and these come in matte or high gloss. These are the high gloss finish. So that's what you're looking at. This motorhome has an MSRP of $703,000, $703,844. So there you go. That's what you're looking at here. Our sale price would be obviously way below that. We're very competitive out there. If you have interest in this, you want a real price on it, all you have to do is reach out to us via either email or telephone, and I will gladly get you that. So let's get right to it. We'll start up front like we often do. Up here to the driver's left, you're going to see things like our HWH fully automatic leveling system, our Allison 6-speed transmission controller, which also has diagnostics built into it. You can even check your fluid level through here. Our power and heated mirror settings are here. Traction control, our power window, which is new for 2023. They had a power window, but it didn't work the same as this one does. This window forward and backwards instead of up and down. It's actually a little bigger opening when you're in a toll booth or something like that. This has our tag selector on here, so we can dump the air out of the tag axle if we're ever on loose ground. And these other two buttons here are for our engine brake. Now, the engine brake is a 3-stage engine brake to slow us down as we're going down the mountain, not let us burn up our brakes. You can turn it off and on here, and then pick from high, medium, and low on these settings. Headlight control and battery booster and dome light are all over here. We have automatic high beams is new for 2023. So when you turn your high beams on, and that's on the automatic setting, if somebody comes at you, it will automatically dim when it sees other headlights and then turn them back on. So how slick is that? This is on a Spartan chassis. Obviously, you can get a Dutch Star on a Spartan or a Freightliner. They are both great chassis. We choose to stock our Dutch Stars on Spartan chassis. My cell phone's sitting there right now charging. That is a little charging pad that's built in, so wireless charging. Fully digital dash, comfort drive, and all the controls are built into the steering wheel here. They added these extra buttons down at the bottom so you can control things like radio and high beams and stuff like that, flashing your lights at people. All wiper control, everything is controlled here on the steering wheel. You never have to take your hands off it, which is obviously great. New bigger monitors for this year. The 360 cam, one nice feature they added to this is on the 360 degree camera this year, when you drop the coach in reverse, you can use the 360 camera. In previous model years to this, on the Dutch Star, when you would have it on 360 and put it in reverse, it would just go to the back, to the rear camera. It would not allow you to do the 360. Well, you know, some of the tightest spots you get into are when you're backing up, so I really like being able to use the 360 camera while in reverse, and like I said, that's kind of new for this year. Our dash HVAC controls are right here, pretty easy stuff there. Control for our visors and our front shade, those are of course all power. Turn our docking lights on, our overhead defroster fans, our hydronic heating down in the center console here, all of that is controlled here. We move over here and we control things like we can lock the door, we can turn the air horn off. Why would you turn an air horn off? That's no fun at all. Our visors, our courtesy lights that are throughout the coach, and even things like cycling through our cameras here on the screen. That's what that 360 select button is for, so you can cycle right through those. So those are your basic dash controls here. The passenger and driver's seats are fully power and heated seats, and they do both recline, incline, spin around, all that good stuff. They're very comfortable seats. The passenger even has a great little table here. If you know how to work it, this rolls forward, sits there. Now, I always laugh at the little cup holder here. If you think I would ever set a drink there going down the road, you're out of your mind. That's what the big cup holder's for, but it is a nice little table. Okay, and then you fold it back like this. The passenger also has a charging pad over here for wireless cell phone charging, control for the dome lights and the visors and stuff like that, and the window blinds and stuff like that. Now, I'm standing down in the stepwell currently. Normally when you're going down the road, there's a power step well. You would close that power step well so that your feet aren't dangling over the hole there. So that's all wonderful stuff up front. Let's get into some of our controls. So this is one of the places where you can control a lot of things in the coach. Starting at the very top, we have our Wi-Fi Ranger. This particular Wi-Fi Ranger does a couple of things. It's a built-in router for your home, just like you have a router in your home now, but also it's kind of our gateway to the internet, one of two different ways. So there's antennas on the roof that will extend your Wi-Fi capabilities. So you know, here inside the coach, I can only get so far with my cell phone on Wi-Fi, and if the campground has Wi-Fi, sometimes I can get it, sometimes I can't. Obviously, having an antenna on the roof is going to extend that range, so your cell phone talks to the router talks to the Wi-Fi antenna, so on and so forth. Now, unfortunately, what we usually find with coach Wi-Fi is that a lot of campgrounds just haven't really invested in the infrastructure for a great Wi-Fi experience. So you're getting a better connection to their not so great Wi-Fi. That's obviously not always going to do the trick. A lot of people work on the road and stuff like that. So in those situations, you can get with the cell phone company, AT&T, T-Mobile, whatever, and get a SIM card. This has 4G capability on the roof as well. You pop that SIM card in there, and when the Wi-Fi is not great, you can get it through your internet, or through your cell phone provider, get 4G internet through there, and that's good enough for a lot of people on there. So there are other things coming, but for now, that's our best case scenario. So we'll go through just a real quick overview of what is in here. Obviously, this cabinet lights up when you open the door, which is great. You don't have to stand here with a flashlight. This is our control for our main two awnings, our Nova awnings. If it's not too windy, we'll show those later in the video, but that's how we run those awnings out and turn the lights on our main awnings, which take up most of the side of the coach. This controller here, this is our inverter control primarily. This coach has a 2800 inverter built into it, but this also controls things like your auto generator start and things like that. So there's other ways to do that now, so we'll get into that here in a little bit. This is our energy management system, tells us what power is coming into the coach and where it's being distributed, and quite frankly keeps us from going over our amperage. So if we were plugged into a 30 amp service, we would be able to use that to keep ourselves under 30 amps so we don't pop the circuit breaker out at the post. Up top, I'm just going to go over these real quick. We have security light driver's side and passenger side. Those are our outdoor lights. We have a block heater. If it's cold outside, we're leaving in the morning, you want to turn on your block heater. This coach does have an in-motion satellite dish on the roof. Our exterior step switch to tell it whether to stay out all the time or to come in and out every time the door is open. And then our underneath, kind of our fancy lighting underneath the slide, you have some indirect lighting down there, some LEDs, and that's the control for that. This is our Winegard digital antenna for over-the-air TV. Come back over here, this is our Oasis system. Our Oasis system is hydronic heating. This is our primary heating system for the coach, and it's how we heat the water in our coach. Historically, you know, RVs have heated water and using propane in a water tank, and you've used a propane and 12-volt furnace. That's not what this coach uses. The Oasis system is much more elaborate than that. It's part of what makes this an all-electric coach. There is no propane system on here at all. This can run off of either diesel fuel pulling from your main tank, or it can run off electricity, certainly if you're plugged into a 50 amp service. We did a whole video on the Oasis system or on hydronic heating, so if you're not quite familiar with that, look up that video. Just go to YouTube, type in Mount Comfort RV and hydronic heating, and we talk about how those systems work. I don't want to get, these videos are long enough, I don't want to get too far into it right now, but the main thing you need to know is it's an all-electric coach and it's unlimited hot water. So if you want to take a 40-minute shower, as long as you're hooked up to a city water connection and have a way to get rid of your gray water, you can take as long a shower as you want, you're going to have hot water. So that's a beautiful thing. That's how we turn that system on and off right here. Our slides controls for our two front slides are here. And then this coach also has a little over-the-door awning. The controls for it are right here. So that's everything in this cabinet. All right, moving on. We have a little bit of storage over here. All right. One thing I thought of when I was driving this coach around to where we're shooting the video today, I kind of cranked up the radio just a little bit, and I forget to talk about sometimes, Newmar's invested in this. This is a JBL speaker system, and everything is tuned. So they come in here with all the little microphones, crank up the radio, and tune it for a Dutch Star. And the system that's in here is different than what's in a Ventana, it's different than what's in a Bay Star, but they all use the JBL speakers in here, and the amps are set for those speaker capabilities. So literally, unlike a lot of systems, you can crank this all the way 100% up. You're still within the safe point on the speakers. It'll really get loud and still sound good, not be distorted or anything like that. So Newmar spent some money. Again, historically, RVs have been really not great. They sound like an AM radio, stereo systems on here, but this media system is really tuned in. I think you'll like it. One other thing I want to talk about while I'm at the front, I see the JBL sticker, and right under it's one of the most important things, and I still forget to talk about it. How about customer service? You know, a lot of companies talk about it, and then you buy a coach, and what do they give you? Well, we'll give you a 1-year subscription to CoachNet. What is CoachNet? Well, CoachNet is just a generic kind of roadside assistance service to people that really don't know anything about your specific RV. They just know a little bit about RVs in general. They can come out with a pair of jumper cables if you killed your battery. And that's nothing against CoachNet. They obviously do lockout service and stuff like that as well. But it's not the same as having somebody that is trained and every day, day in, day out, they are Newmar people. So the phone number you see there, that is to the team that heads up the Dutch Star service team. They are service writers for that product. They are in Napanee, Indiana. They're not in, you know, Pakistan or something. You know, it's not a call center. These are people that on a daily basis handle problems on Dutch Stars and can talk you through a lot of things. Because what do we really want? I mean, we all know that RVs are never going to be perfect. When a house isn't perfect, and then you take a house and you take it down the road and you get that constant earthquake going on, you're going to have some things, you know, even with the very best of manufacturers. What you really want is help while you're on the road. You don't really want to go find a service center. I mean, if you have to, you have to, but what you really want is the ability to have somebody talk you through diagnosing and taking care of this problem, or maybe doing a workaround right over the phone. That's what you want Dutch Star service advisors for. So really the only company that does it like this, that your call center goes directly to the Newmar Service Center. Also on here, they put the Spartan number on there as well. So if you do have a chassis related issue, you can get a hold of them as well. And again, you're calling Charlotte, Michigan. You're not calling their call center. You're calling Charlotte, Michigan to people that build these Spartan chassis, and they can help walk you through. So customer service is extremely important, and that's a great sticker. I always tell people, I don't care if you peel off the JBL sticker, but leave that one there because you're going to enjoy that. All right, let's get to a little bit more of the coach. Enough of that. Just like the last Dutch Star we did, we still did not really care for the stock floor in the Dutch Star, so we upgraded this to King Air flooring, and it is just absolutely beautiful. I love everything about this tile. This is a heated tile floor, and it is absolutely gorgeous tile throughout this coach. There's no carpet in here. Very few motorhomes can say this. Zero, none, no carpet in this coach whatsoever. Even on the main slide out, it's a perfectly flat floor. and no carpet whatsoever. This was a nice upgrade, $3,000 or $4,000 for this King Air flooring, worth every penny when you see this in person. I hope it comes out as well in the video as it looks in person. All right, so you can option this a few different ways. There's theater seatings, there's chairs, that type of thing, but we did the sofa configuration here. We have a hide-a-bed sofa over here that folds out into a queen-size hide-a-bed, 3-cushion sofa. We have a little, kind of a smaller sofa. It's bigger than a love seat, smaller than a sofa. I guess we'll call it a love seat for now over here. This is directly, your main sofa is directly in front of your television, so you have tremendous viewing angles. Now, there's a TV behind me as well, so if somebody's sitting at the booth, they can see that, but this is usually where you would spend your time, straight across from the main TV. That's outstanding. We'll come back a little further. This has the Euro booth option in it. No, this does not make a bed. It's not meant to make a bed. This is made to be comfortable. Forever, booths were kind of taboo in diesel pushers, and that was our fault as an industry because we were sticking, travel trailer, cheap plywood booths in high-end diesel pushers, and people didn't like it, so that's why everybody went to the table and chairs forever. Well, finally somebody figured out, you know what, people actually like a booth if it's comfortable and if there's room for them. People tell me, well, I'm a bigger person. Come on, there's a lot of space in here. This is actually inner spring seating underneath you, so it is very comfortable, and you can sit here and you can sit off to the side. If you're sitting in that one, have a tremendous view of the television. Honestly, I could sit here and watch a football game. This is not a bad angle at all. It wouldn't be my first choice, but certainly very, very doable to do it this way. All right, so all of our shades in this coach are power MCD shades. We have, most of these that we have down now are the day shade. You can still kind of see what's going on outside, but yet it cuts the sun down. And then at night, you would want to push another button on your remote control and bring down the night shade, which would give you complete privacy here. All right, let's go to the kitchen. All right, so we have a nice amount of counter space here, but it gets better. Press of a button there, and we have even more counter space. So when you start pulling out drawers here, you're going to see everything's full extension, everything's soft touch closing, so when you push this back in, it grabs and just pulls it in. That's going to make your coach just that much quieter because they're being pulled in. I mentioned this is an all-electric coach, so what does that mean? We don't have a gas cooktop. We have an induction cooktop that can be taken outside. That whole thing comes out of there and just plugs in, so if you want to do some cooking outside, you can. This beautiful Corian work is done, finished right there at Newmar, cut, polished, all that. On the back side of this, you even have cutting boards. All right. Your sink is now a farm sink for 2023. That has a divider down inside it. And then your cutting board, or not cutting boards, your sink covers just slide right into place there. And then we come over here a little further. This is the new feature. This is the new coffee bar. So on this coffee bar, you can actually open this up and you have plenty of room down there for other things. So what other things? Well, I'm in the middle of a kitchen remodel right now. I can tell you that there's appliances that we never really accounted for. I mean, you've always had, dishwasher, microwave, refrigerator, whatever. But now there's air fryers and Instapots and things like that that you have to have room to put them in cabinets, and that's kind of what was thought of here. There's an outlet up here to plug this in. You can put your little Keurig right here. Nice sized drawer in front of here for all the coffee pods you need, and then there's even storage up above. So nice new feature. This is in a few Newmars for 2023. They put a version of this in. And I'll let Troy get some shots of all of this storage. We did option this one in with a dishwasher as well. Let's see, where's the button? There it is. All right. So you have a drawer style dishwasher here, and then a drawer above it, your silverware drawer. All right, I'm gonna open up some of this other storage that we skipped. Your AV center, Samsung televisions, Bose soundbar, names you know. Okay, we'll get all this storage on the off door side here. Those first four are all one big cabinet. It's fully lined in there. Notice those doors are standing up on their own. You don't have to stand there and hold them open with one arm. And then these next 3 are all one long cabinet as well. I like just down here, I love having the trash can on a pull out. There's room for a second trash can. All right. Let's take a look at the pantry, because it's big. And there's 2 of them. Now maybe you use this one for something else. That's a possibility, because with this size pantry, I don't know that you need 2 of them. But again, a new look for 2023 is kind of having the same cabinet on either side of the refrigerator. I could see using this as like a linen closet if you wanted to. But obviously those are choices you would have to make. Beautiful Whirlpool refrigerator. The pink stuff that you see inside there, that's RV antifreeze. We're heading into that time of year where we have to winterize these coaches so we don't freeze water lines. So when you see pink stuff inside an RV, it's supposed to be there. All right. New for 2023 is the touch screen from KIB. So most of our coach controls that we're ever going to want to use are done through this very easy to use screen menu system. Basically, what department you want to be in is down here at the bottom, and then all the main stuff that you need to see is usually on this home screen right there. How much is in my holding tanks, where are my batteries at, turn my water pump off and on, and my main lighting. But you can cycle through here for auto generator start. Your floor heating can be controlled through here, your exhaust fans, heating and cooling, and BT pair. That's a Bluetooth pairing, so you can control it all from your phone. So nice setup. This is so much better than what they've had in years past. Newmar was a little slow to come around to this, but boy, did they knock it out of the park with this new setup. Great big screen, easy to see, very well placed in the coach. This is a bath and a half model motorhome. So the half bath, it's hard to get good shots in the half bath. 2 people just don't fit in there well, but that wasn't the idea anyway. You have a great medicine cabinet with storage above and below. In 2 of those cabinets in there, you would find the circuit breakers and fuses for the coach. Nice vessel sink, looks great, and there's plenty of room in there for 1 person, which is what you really want. Now, as we transition back into the bedroom, beautiful solid wood doors here. Okay, and as we come back into here, again, no carpet, no step up into the bedroom. We have a king-size bed with a Sleep Number mattress in it. Some lighting in there that's not turned on right now at the headboard. I missed that. That's on me. Up above the head of the bed there is a that's called a CPAP station in there. There's an outlet in that cabinet, and you can run hoses for a CPAP machine down to yourself. So makes it super easy. The windows on either side of the bed do open. Now, what do we have for storage here? Well, we have a nice closet here. Okay, another one that matches it, and 5 drawers like this. So quite a bit of storage. And then there is a small step up, and I mean like 3 or 4 inches here, into the rear bathroom. Again, nice pocket door here, solid, and there is a mirror on the back side of this for like a full-length mirror. Our stackable washer dryer are here. Okay. Look at this, another closet back here, very deep storage down in there as well. There's a safe hiding back in there. All kinds of drawers. You know, we have 3 drawers right here, like this. Storage here, 2 more drawers here. Okay, more storage under this sink, so the 2 sink design. And then look at the size of this medicine cabinet above the sink. Great mirror, number 1. But look at the size of that. There's a lot of storage in this coach. All right, let's shut that up. Even more storage here. There's the safe. You know it was in here somewhere. All right, 2 more drawers like this. And then right behind the toilet is our emergency egress door. So a lot better than having an emergency egress window. We have one of those as well, but the door is a lot easier to get out of in the event of an emergency. We did a whole video on that as well, so if you want to look that up, you certainly can. The shower, decent sized shower here. It's not as huge as like in a 4369, but I'm not crowded at all. This is very doable. Nice seat in here. All right, so that's a little bit about our coach while it's all opened up. Let's close it up and see what kind of walkways and aisleways we have with the slide rooms in, so you know what you'd have going down the road. Okay, so good aisle way in this one. Some are better than others, obviously, but this one I would probably give like a B plus A minus to, as far as what you have when the slides are in. So I'm sitting on the bed obviously now. I could lay down back here and fully extend, take a nap while somebody drives me down the road. So that's easy. I can get into either pantry, okay, into the fridge, no issue there. What's the important one? We have to go get into the bathroom. Well, that's why they hinge that door in the middle. Okay, so you open it like that. It's an easy in and out of the bathroom. Great space here at the coffee station. I mean, you know, you can go up and down. Oh, this coach does have central vac too. I forgot to mention that, but it's right there. So then the tightest spot's probably right here, but not bad at all. And the rest of it, you know, you're just walking. So this is pretty easy. This is what it looks like going down the road. This is about as good as it gets with these motorhomes that slide out on opposing slides and stuff like that. All right, let's take a look at what kind of options we have on the outside of the coach. Okay, here we are outside of our 4325 Newmar Dutch Star for the 2023 model year. So let's go around and see what all we can see. Obviously, like we talk about on a lot of these coaches, there's cameras everywhere. We have our turn signal cameras here. There's cameras on all four sides for the 360 camera, backup camera. So no shortage of cameras on this coach to help you protect it. This is our little slot where the flagpole holder would fit into, and that comes with the coach. That's an option. We optioned it in, so you have everything but the flag to put in there. We did option in the stainless steel trim package. That's what all this white stuff is here. Once we peel that off, that's just mirrored all the way around. Makes it really stand out off of that masterpiece finish. And also, obviously, the Alcoa aluminum wheels look great as well. These are the big boy tires. These aren't the small tires. You know, you see a lot of diesel pushers built with like 275s or 295s or maybe even 305. These are 365 70R22s. So that's a big tire. The more air you have between the rim and the road, the better your ride is going to be. You're just going to feel that much softer. Obviously, all Dutch Stars have independent front suspension, so that's going to help absorb the bumps a lot better as well and give you up to a 60-degree wheel cut. This coach is one of my favorite things to do is take somebody out that hasn't driven one of these and show them just how small of a circle it will turn if you do a full lock on it. And between the tag axle and the independent front suspension with the 60-degree wheel cut, it really is a coach that will turn in a much smaller radius than what you would ever imagine. All right, so fuel can be done from either side, which is nice when you're pulling into the fuel stations. They added a shelf here last year, which is great, right above the freezer, and then we pulled this freezer out. I say freezer, but you can set it to refrigerate as well. It can be either or. This does run off of 12 volts or 120, your choice there. Look how easy the doors slam now. They went to the new type of rubber seal on here. It's a little softer. You no longer have to really slam the doors. Now we didn't put a tray here because that's some very tall storage through there. And when you do put a tray in, you know, trays are nice, but you also lose a little height. No height loss there, so your taller items go in this bay. Up above, we have another Samsung TV with a Bose soundbar on a swivel that's locked in place by magnets. We have another plug-in over here where we can charge our favorite devices. You can do USB or 120 there, and all of that is recessed beautifully back into the wall behind the fully painted door. All right, next, this is our large tray. So this tray pulls out either side of the coach. Everything is lit in here. It's very difficult to see that today, but at night, whenever you open any one door, the entire basement lights up with the LED lights. So you can always see what's in here. You don't have to be running around with a flashlight in your teeth. Those are extra of the King Air floor tiles. They came out of the same box, so if you would ever drop a skillet or something and crack a tile, you've got replacement tiles and we can make it as good as new. Okay, another large, tall storage space here. Part of it goes all the way through, but most of it is blocked off by your Oasis system back in there. I see the tools for our central vac system as well, and this is where you would change the bag out for your central vac, is right up here. All right, moving on. Nice little setup here. Behind this is our holding tanks, and a lot of diesel pushers, these doors don't even open on Newmar gives you this extra space. I mean, I would have my WD-40 in there, my roll of duct tape, all the things you need to fix a coach. We can go right in there and just great storage that you don't otherwise get with most manufacturers. Speaking of most manufacturers, look at the way these slide rooms fit. They're recessed back into the wall. You don't have a big piece of plastic trim here that is only going to catch dirt and water and wind and make more noise going down the road. When it's recessed back into the wall, it's a better fit. It's going to be quieter, less likely to take on dirt and or wind. Tag axle coach, this is a steerable tag. You have no control over that. It just steers when you're going slow speeds and forward, and you'll never have to think about it. It does tighten up your turning radius just a little bit, and it follows along. I always describe it to people as think about a grocery cart. When you turn a grocery cart, you're not steering those front wheels, but they do turn. They go the direction you want it to go. That's exactly how these work. It's called passive steering, and that's what happens on the steerable tag that you see there. All right, this is our DEF, diesel exhaust fluid. This is part of the after treatment for all diesel engines manufactured since 2010. This is emissions. It's not really fun, but it's also not a big deal. So DEF, you buy it at the fuel station and either pour it or pump it into there. You use about a gallon of DEF for every 50 gallons of fuel that you use. So it's not a lot, it's not a big expense. It does have a shelf life, so if you have a jug of it in the coach, switch it out, rotate your stock every now and then. These are our chassis batteries that you see here. These are what start the engine, start the generator, that type of thing. And then those little yellow switches down there, you would use those if you're putting the coach into storage to shut off everything. We'll come back to the back here. Now this is a K2 Mountain Master chassis from Spartan featuring a Cummins 450 horse engine with 1,250 pound-feet of torque. I still think it's foot-pounds. But 1,250 pound-feet of torque, a hitch that's rated for 15,000 pounds, and yes, this coach will tow 15,000 pounds, and we have the air chuck built right in for any type of air braking system that you would like to use with your tow. Because it's a side radiator coach, not a rear radiator coach, we could get in here and change our belts. We can easily change our air filter or our fuel filters that are right out here in front. I mean, everything is easy to get to here. We could add to our Oasis system. Our boiler antifreeze is here. Our regular antifreeze is here. Everything's easy to get to because that radiator's out of the way. All right, let's shut this down and move on over here. Here's that side radiator I was referring to. This is also DEF. It goes to the exact same tank. They just put access to it on this side so that you can, if you happen to have it on the pump, you don't have to turn the coach around and come at it again. You can just right after you fuel it, pull forward a little bit, add the DEF. They made it simple. This is that egress door we talked about on the inside. Notice that there is no handle on the outside. So even though that door has a lock and a deadbolt on it, there's no steps, there's no getting in there. You don't even really hardly notice it on the coach. All right, sewer hose storage spot. Has its own dedicated spot. Enough said. Moving forward to the wet bay, we have our hose is on a power hose reel, so you don't have to wrestle with the hose. You have your winterization hose right here. Everything's on that stainless steel backer that you see there. They changed to that last year. We have hot and cold water access out here, black tank flush, whole house water filtration system, place for paper towels right out here. Everything you need that has anything to do with water, getting water into or out of the coach is out here. We can do a regular gravity dump here, or we did bring in the macerator as well. A macerator will just let you dump over a longer distance with a smaller hose, even a garden hose if need be. You don't need macerators very often, but when you need them, you need them. So not a bad feature to have on a coach. Our 50-foot, 50-amp shore power cord is in this one, so anybody that's ever wrestled a shore power cord when it's cold outside will appreciate the fact that that's on a reel. The surge protector is built into this coach, and then you have your hookup out here for park cable or ground satellite right here as well. That's all that's in this compartment. We'd mentioned earlier hydronic heating or the Oasis system. This is it. That's your boiler, if you will. That will boil either the RV glycol that's in the boiler antifreeze, they call it, that's in the system to heat the coach, or your water goes through there as well and it'll get that hot also. That's the other half of this pull-out tray that we talked about. Here's the other half of that large pass-through that has the great height, and we didn't put a tray in. 8 AGM batteries. Those are absorbed glass mat batteries. They're on a pull-out tray for ease in service, except with absorbed glass mat, you really don't need to service them. So about the only time you'd ever pull that out is if you had to replace them. So, but that it is nice that they do pull out. The other half of the fuel fill is here. And then up front, we have our Spartan chassis fuses in this compartment right here. You can see this is a 10 kW Onan diesel generator. It's very quiet. It pulls out, as you can clearly see, and that makes it very easy for serviceability. We have a red dial right there. That red dial is a spigot for hot water up into the generator area of the coach, so we can clean those stinky bugs off with hot water instead of cold water. That obviously works a lot better. I'll push this back in, make sure it clicks. It does. New Sylvania Silver Star headlights for this year. These are significantly brighter than what was offered in the past. That is listening to our customers and what they want. All right, last but not least, I wanted to open the Nova awnings today. We've done that in other videos. It's just too windy. We're in the fall here, and we've got a cold front moving in, and those are very expensive awnings, and I don't want to have to explain to the boss what happened. So we're not going to do that today. But what I do want to do, this paint job is phenomenal, and I don't think you've had a good enough view of that yet. So I'm going to close it all up so that you can see it without the slide rooms out. Well, they're already closed up, but we're going to pan back and get some good shots of that. I'm going to close all the compartment doors so you can see just how outstanding that paint job is. That's it. Don't forget to like the videos. Don't forget to ask for me. Vote for what coach is next week's offering, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. I'm Chris Anderson with Mount Comfort RV.